Today I'm going to be showing you how to mix vocals, specifically lead vocals and like gang vocals and backing vocals, and how to like mix them together to give like a really big full sound.
I want it, I need it, injected into my veins so I can feel it. I want it, I need it, injected into my veins. You've been desensitized.
So yeah, let's have a look at the project. So we've essentially got like a couple of layers of vocals. So we've got these main vocals here. So these have actually been double tracked. So I'll play these on their own for you.
I want it, I need it, injected into my veins so I can feel it.
So the reason these are double tracked is because it makes it sound much more full when there's like two voices going at the same time. So if I play one on its own, it's going to sound like this.
I need it, injected into.
And then with two, it's like.
I need it.
Just makes it sound much more full and much more together. So in terms of processing, we've got an EQ. So yeah, both of these tracks are sent to a bus, and on the bus we've got an EQ. So a very simple EQ.
I want it.
Just removing a lot of the low end. There's quite a lot of bleed in these vocals from like the actual backing track when it was being recorded, which is fine. We just had to like scoop out a lot of the low end. So anything below about 180 hertz, because there's nothing really going on down there. It's all just like unwanted frequencies. We've got a nice boost at the top end as well, just to make it a lot more bright, because the song's quite raw. I didn't like go in and do too much EQ. I wanted to keep it like as simple as possible, just to keep the feel of the song basically. After that EQ, we've got a compressor.
I want it.
This is the 1176, the blue stripe one from the Wave CLA pack. So yeah, releases as fast as possible. I kept the attack where it is, and we're at a 4:1 ratio. We're looking at about like between 10 and 20 decibels gain reduction on this.
I need it.
And then we've also got a delay on here as well. So 1/4 delay is very, very subtle, like hardly anything going on. Again, we wanted to keep it like really, really raw sounding, so we didn't really think too much about the delay and the effects that much.
I want it.
Just filtering the delayed tone slightly as well with these filters. We're also sending this main vocal to a reverb. Now this reverb's really, really short. It's like 0.35 seconds. So this is from Valhalla Room. It's basically to give the vocals a kind of like big sound, but without this really long reverb that kind of like tails on. It's like a really, really short reverb. It just kind of makes it sound more kind of like roomy, but tight at the same time. So if I play this with and without the reverb, you'll get to hear the difference. So this is without the little reverb on.
I want it.
And then with the reverb on like this.
I want it.
It just kind of helps to add to that like fullness of the vocal. There's not too much going on, just kind of like minus 10 decibels being sent to it, but again, you can use your ears for that. So that's the main vocals. We've also got some gang vocals. So these gang vocals actually are essentially the entire chorus we sang as a gang vocal. So there's 4 layers of this, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now if we look at the mixer, we're actually panning them 2 hard left and 2 hard right. And again, they're being sent to this group channel here. And on this group channel, we've got an EQ, which is roughly the same as the EQ from the other one. There's just a tiny bit of like a wider boost around the top end. And we've added some like bottom as well, like 200 hertz. Compressor's pretty much the exact same, except this time we're going for an 8:1 ratio instead of 4:1, just to kind of tighten the sound up and really, really compress them a lot. Again, the release time's a little bit longer than the other vocals as well. And then in terms of a delay, we've got a delay as well. There's a bit more delay on this background vocal as well. This gang vocal, just to kind of like make it sit in the background a bit more and not be sort of like full on at the front. Again, that's being filtered again. So the delayed signal is only like 300 hertz to 3 kilohertz. This is being sent to a medium reverb as well. So if I just play this for you.
So I can feel it. I want it.
So if I play that with the main vocal, it'll sound something like.
To my veins so I can feel it.
Because you can really kind of add on that "so I can feel it" line. It really kind of adds something to it and makes it sound more full.
To my veins so I can feel it.
Yeah, it really adds something. If I play it without that
Veins so I can feel it.
because that's kind of like the last line of the phrase. So it kind of really makes it sound full on that last line going into the next bit. In terms of the reverb, it's been sent to a medium reverb. So this medium reverb is Valhalla Room. It's actually 2.75 seconds, so about 3 seconds. Quite like a big reverb because we wanted it to kind of like sit in the background and kind of have the lead vocal up front, and this is kind of like, yeah, in the background. Other gang vocals we've got in here, there's just a line where we say more. And again, on these gang vocals, there were 4 of us doing these gang vocals. So every like little block has essentially got 4 people in, so there's like 16 voices in there apparently, just to make it sound big. Again, in terms of like panning, these are 2 left, 2 hard right being sent to a bus. So that line on its own just sounds like... just very, very simple. And we've placed that in certain sections of the chorus just to kind of like make it sound full and interesting. So if I play it for you, it's like...
I want it! I need it! Injected into my veins!
Yeah, so if we listen to that like second half of the chorus, you can really hear how much the gang vocals actually add. So you've got the more line.
I want it!
That's a gang vocal there. Then it says more again. Then we've got no gang, and the gang comes in at the end. It just makes it kind of like the chorus like really interesting. So in terms of on those more vocals, all we've got is EQ. So similar to the main EQ, just boosting a bit of the high end to really like add some presence to it. If I take the EQ off, it's like, and then if I add it in, really adds some like high end presence and really makes it like cut through in the mix a lot more. In terms of the compressor as well, we're at a 4:1 ratio. This is the same compressor as the main vocal. I'm a big believer in like keeping, especially with this type of music, keeping plugins like very, very minimal and only using like what you need. So on literally each of these tracks, it's just like EQ, compressor, delay, reverb, like really, really simple stuff. There's no like fancy stuff going on. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you've enjoyed the video. So I'll play the whole chorus now for you so you can hear it in action.
I want it! I need it! Injected